Jai Hind, dear children. How are you all? I hope you all are fine and safe at home, right? Okay. So, do you remember what all we had discussed in the last class? We have learned about the intake of food by different organisms from its surroundings like crow, pigeon, mosquito, housefly, cow, starfish, even microscopic amoeba, isn't it? I hope you all have studied the contents and had written the notes, no? Okay. Now, in this class, we can discuss about the nutrition in humans. Like all other animals, the nutrition in humans also involve 5 steps. They are ingestion, digestion, absorption, assimilation and egestion. You all know which type of food we usually eat. We use so many plant products like vegetables, leafy vegetables, fruits, cereals, pulses, etc. and animal products like milk, egg, meat, etc. No? How do we intake this food? All of you know that we have a mouth to take the food inside the body. No? Have you ever think what happens to the food that enters into our body mouth? All of us chew the food and then swallow it inside the body, isn't it? Now, what happens to the food? The food passes through a continuous canal which is about 9 meters long. This begins from the buccal cavity and ends at the anus. This canal consists of so many parts. They are buccal cavity, esophagus, stomach, small intestine, large intestine, rectum and the anus. All these parts together constitute the alimentary canal. The food we eat passes through each parts of the alimentary canal and gradually complex food gets converted into simpler substances. There are some glands which are associated with the alimentary canal which produces digestive juices that help in the breakdown of complex food into simpler food. They are salivary gland, liver and pancreas. These alimentary canal and the associated glands together constitute the digestive system. Now, we can study what all happens in each part of the alimentary canal. First, we can discuss about the buccal cavity. The food is taken into the body through mouth. And this process of intaking food into the body is known as ingestion. Mouth is the slit bounded by movable lips. Inside the mouth, there is a cavity that is called as the buccal cavity. In this buccal cavity, there are some important organs. They are the teeth, the tongue and 3 pairs of salivary glands around the buccal cavity which secretes a watery substance called saliva. Teeth are some sharpened substances which helps to break the complex food into simple food inside the mouth. There develops 2 types of teeth in humans. The first develops milk teeth which is 20 in number and these milk teeth are replaced by the permanent adult teeth by the age of 6 to 10. Each tooth is fixed in separate sockets in the upper and lower jaw bones. And these teeth vary in appearance and perform different functions. So you can see the arrangement of different types of teeth in the mouth in this video. There are 4 types of teeth. They are incisors, canines, premolars and molars. The first one is incisors. These incisors are 8 in number, 4 in the upper jaw and 4 in the lower jaw. And it is located at the center in front of the mouth. The function of the incisors are biting and cutting. The next type is canines. They are 4 in number. 2 on the upper jaw and 2 on the lower jaw, and are located just near the incisors. They are sharp teeth. It helps for the tearing of food. Are the premolars. The premolars are 8 in number, 4 on the upper jaw and 4 on the lower jaw. The end of the premolars are flat or blunt, and they helps in chewing or grinding the food. And the next type of teeth are molars. Molars are 12 in number, and they have broad chewing surfaces, and these are seen next to the premolars. There are 3 sets of premolars in the upper and lower jaw. The third set is called the wisdom teeth, as it develops only at the age of 20 to 30. So these are the 4 types of teeth present in our mouth, and those perform different functions such as biting, tearing, chewing and grinding the food and make the food into simpler substances. Have you ever experienced the formation of cavity in the tooth? Okay. Tooth decay can take place easily, so it should be cleaned properly after taking the food. Otherwise, there are chances of accumulation of food in between the teeth, and gradually in that area, bacteria might grow and release some acids, and these acids can damage the teeth. So teeth should be brushed properly twice in a day. You all can feel a watery substance in your mouth, no? What is that substance called? Saliva. Do you know where does it comes from? It is secreted by 3 pairs of salivary glands located around the buccal cavity. This saliva gets mixed with the food we eat, and the food gets moistened, fluidy and smooth. This also contains a digestive enzyme called salivary amylase, which converts the carbohydrates starch into sugar. The food containing carbohydrate start digesting from the mouth itself. Here is an activity which shows the effect of saliva on starch. Iodine is a starch indicator. That is why when we add iodine in starch solution, it turns blue-black color. When we add saliva in the starch solution, the starch gradually breaks down into simple sugars, and so the blue-black color disappears in the beaker test tube B. From this, we can understand the effect of salivary amylase on starch. Tongue is a muscular organ. It helps to mix the food with saliva inside the mouth by its movement. It contains taste buds by which we can taste the food. We can find the position of taste buds on the tongue for detecting different tastes from this picture. You can see some colored regions on the tongue, no? The grey colored region detects the spicy taste, and the red colored region at the tip portion on either side of the tongue, that area detects the salt, and towards the back of the tongue there can see the green colored area it detects the bitter. And the blue colored area on both sides of the tongue detects the sour, and the tip area of the tongue, that is seen in orange, detects the sweet. So what are the functions of tongue? The tongue helps in mixing the food, tasting the food, and in swallowing the food. Swallowed food passes into the food pipe. While swallowing the food, there is a chance of entering the food into the windpipe, because inside the throat there is a common passage of air and food. But while swallowing the food, the opening of the windpipe is closed by a flap-like structure called epiglottis, and this prevents the entry of food into the windpipe. The food is pushed down by the wavy movement of the wall of the food pipe, and this movement is called as peristaltic movement. So you can see the food passes in a wavy motion through the esophagus into the stomach. Now the food reaches the stomach. The stomach is a thick-walled J-shaped bag. The stomach is the widest part of the alimentary canal. The inner wall of the stomach secretes mucus, hydrochloric acid, and the digestive juices. The mucus protects the inner lining of the stomach from the action of hydrochloric acid. The hydrochloric acid secreted inside the stomach kills the bacteria that enters the stomach along with the food and makes the food acidic. And this activates the digestive juices to break down the protein into simpler substances. Now, the partially digested food enters into the small intestine from the stomach. Small intestine is a highly coiled tube which is about 6.5 to 7.5 meter long. The partially digested food from the stomach enters into the small intestine, where the liver and pancreas secretes the digestive juices. Liver is the largest gland in our body. It is reddish brown in color and is situated on the upper part of the abdomen on the right side. It secretes bile juice, which is stored in a sac called gallbladder, and this bile juice helps in the digestion of fats. Pancreas is a cream colored leaf-like gland which is located just below the stomach. The pancreas produces digestive juices and it secretes it into the small intestine. The pancreatic juice mixed with the food in the small intestine and help in the breakdown of carbohydrates, fats and proteins. Now, when the partly digested food reaches the lower part of the small intestine, it gets mixed with the digestive juices secreted by the walls of the small intestine and the complete digestion of food takes place. Carbohydrate is completely break down into sugars called glucose, proteins into amino acids and fats into fatty acids and glycerol. Simpler substances are now ready to be absorbed in the blood. The absorption of nutrients also takes place in the small intestine. In the inner wall of the small intestine, there are present thousands of finger-like projections called villi. And these villi increase the surface area of small intestine, and so more absorption of digested food takes place. Each villi have a network of small blood vessels near its surface where digested food gets absorbed. These digested food now enters into the blood vessels, and through the blood vessels they are transported to different organs of the body. In the cells, these absorbed nutrients are used for so many processes. It is used for the production of certain complex substances like proteins and is used for obtaining the energy, breaking down of glucose into carbon dioxide and water in the presence of oxygen. And the process by which absorbed food is taken by the body cells and is used for obtaining energy, growth and repair of the cells is called as assimilation. After complete digestion, some food remains as undigested and this enters into the large intestine. Large intestine is a wider and shorter than small intestine, which is about 1.5 meter long. The undigested food contains water and some other salts which get absorbed by the walls of the large intestine. After this, the remaining waste passed into the rectum as semi-solid feces and is egested out through the anus. This process is called as the egestion. Sometimes, without proper digestion and absorption, the food is egested out as watery stool. Sometimes we experience loose motion, no? Frequently if it happens, and this condition is called as diarrhea. Do you know why it happens so? It may be because of an infection or food poisoning or without proper digestion. Due to diarrhea, excessive loss of water and salts from the body will be there. And in these cases, the patient should be given plenty of boiled and cooled water with a pinch of salt and sugar dissolved in it. And thus the body gets rehydrated. And this solution is called as ORS, that is oral rehydration solution. Okay children, so I hope all of you understood the contents that we have discussed today. Now you got an idea about what happens to the food we eat, no? Okay. Now all of you take your textbook and read the textbook 2 or 3 times carefully and note down the important points. I have attached some questions here from this topic. Find out the answers from the textbook and write it in your notes today itself. Okay. And send it to your concerned science teachers. Okay children, thank you.